This is the 61st video in a set of videos that study the 101 laws of the success mindset code. In this video, we will cover the 61st law, the law of the lonely path. When it comes to financial transformation in the mature stage of life, there will be seasons where you walk alone. Not because others don't care, but because most people are not willing to pay the price that success demands. The law of the lonely path reminds us that breakthroughs often begin in silence, far away from applause, recognition, or constant encouragement. If you want to rebuild your financial life, especially after years of mistakes, emotional burdens, or external pressure, you must be willing to travel through a stretch of desert without expecting a cheering crowd beside you. This is not a punishment, it's preparation. Real prosperity comes to those who can stand firm when no one else believes. Many people assume that financial success is the result of external support, but the truth is that inner conviction is more valuable than any external approval. When you decide to change your financial habits, eliminate debt, build wealth, or start a new business, you will discover something surprising. People close to you might not understand. They may question your decisions, criticize your discipline, or suggest that you are aiming too high at this point in your life. Instead of helping, they might unintentionally create doubt, not because they want you to fail, but because your growth exposes their own fears. But here is the secret. Confidence grows when you learn to rely on your own voice. Think about someone like Daniel. He dreamed of building a consulting business focused on sustainability. At first, the people around him doubted his vision. Friends and family didn't understand why he would leave the security of his job at his age. Investors rejected him repeatedly. He walked into meetings alone, took risks alone, and faced silent nights wondering if he was making a mistake. But instead of giving up, Daniel embraced the loneliness as a forge that would strengthen his character. Years passed, and today his company is an example of innovation and profit. The world claps today, but no one saw the sacrifices of yesterday. On the other hand, imagine someone like Sarah. She had a powerful idea, passion, and potential. But when the first wave of doubt hit, she searched desperately for support. When she didn't receive it, she stopped. She waited for recognition, encouragement, approval. The lonely stage of her journey felt like abandonment, so she froze instead of progressing. The result was not failure, but stagnation. What stopped her was not a lack of resources, but the inability to walk alone long enough to reach clarity. Financially, this dynamic is everywhere. When you start saving aggressively, some people will say you're being radical. When you stop spending on unnecessary things, people will say you're boring. When you invest in education instead of parties, people will question your priorities. When you open a side business, people will wonder why you're bothering at this age. What they don't see is the silent transformation happening inside you. Prosperity is not born in noise. It's cultivated in quiet decisions repeated daily. Walking alone is proof that you have matured financially. It shows that you are no longer driven by emotional spending, social comparison, or external validation. You start valuing long-term results instead of short-term comfort. This is where compound interest, persistent saving, strategic investing, and financial clarity thrive. Loneliness forces you to refine your purpose. It teaches you to manage fear instead of letting fear manage you. So how do you embrace this lonely path without losing motivation? First, strengthen your personal vision. Know exactly why you are changing and what future you are building. When the path becomes quiet, your vision becomes the fuel. Second, accept loneliness as a mentor. It will reveal your weaknesses, highlight your emotional triggers, and force you to grow. Third, cultivate inner confidence. You cannot demand external confidence if you are not cultivating internal confidence. Fourth, sacrifice immediacy for durability. Wealth is built over years, not weeks. You might have fewer compliments in the beginning, but you will have more freedom in the future. Fifth, seek inspiration, not approval. Study stories of people who walked alone until others could no longer ignore their results. When you walk alone, you also develop a powerful financial muscle, discipline. Discipline is not forgivable to excuses or emotional impulses. Discipline protects your future self from your present self. Without this phase of solitude, most people fall back into old habits. Growth requires separation, not isolation. Separation from those habits, beliefs, behaviors, and environments that kept you stagnant. The lonely path is not empty. It's full of opportunities for clarity. Every time you say no to a dinner you can't afford, every time you invest instead of spending, every time you study instead of complaining, you are walking this path. And even though no one sees it today, the results will be visible tomorrow. Most people fail financially because they prioritize company over progress, comfort over growth, and approval over purpose. But those who learn to walk alone unlock a level of courage that makes them unstoppable. One day, when your finances stabilize, when debt is gone, when investments are working, when your business flourishes, the same people who questioned you will ask how you did it. They won't understand that success was built in silence. By then, the lonely path will have given you something priceless: self-respect. You will know you are capable. You will know you didn't collapse under pressure. You will know that your financial transformation was intentional. Now ask yourself, what is truly stopping you from moving forward? A lack of support or the fear of walking alone? Remember, this phase is temporary. It will end. And when it ends, you will be stronger than every excuse you ever told yourself. This is how financial maturity is forged. Not in comfort, but in courage. Not in constant applause, but in unwavering clarity. You are not behind. You are not late. You are simply entering a chapter that most people never read. Prosperity belongs to those who dare to continue walking when the crowd stops. So, keep walking, quietly, consistently, patiently. Your financial life can be rewritten. Your destiny can be redesigned. And when the path becomes silent, that is the universe testing how badly you want the life you say you desire. The law of the lonely path is not about isolation. It's about elevation. Embrace it. Let it shape you. And when the doors finally open, you will look back and understand that the silence was not a void. It was a classroom preparing you for abundance. If this video made sense to you, give it a like, drop a comment below, share it with someone who needs this message, and subscribe with the bell on so you won't miss a thing. And if you want to take the next step to transform your financial mindset, check out the link in the first comment below.